Hey class, good morning and welcome back. Welcome to week 3 of introductory psychology. I can't believe we're already here at week 3. It's almost February. The semester is definitely flying by. So I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful weekend weather we're having. I apologize. I'm feeling I got a little bit of head cold going on right now, so I might sound a little nasally or stuffy, and because I am slowly but surely getting it out of my system, but it's still kind of lingering. So anyways, hope you're all having a great weekend. Yesterday, we had an awesome thunder win, except for obviously if you watched or pay attention to the Thunder at all, we lost one of our best players to injury, Andre Roberson, really nasty injury. I was watching on TV. It was really sad to see, and kind of bummed about it, but I know this team is still good, and we'll continue on without him. But anyways, it's just a real shame to see. So hoping that he's recovering and hoping that this team can rally around this injury. So anyways, if you don't care about the Thunder, I apologize for that last few seconds. But anyways, welcome back. Welcome back. We have a few things to cover this week. Before we begin, I want to say I really enjoyed this week's discussion post. I really enjoyed hearing you all talk about the different myths of the brain and how they perpetuate and some of the ones that surprised you and didn't surprise you, etc. So before we do that, I wanted to talk about our discussion post, just sort of how to earn a full score. I've had some students ask, so I wanted to at least address it to everybody. But just know that our discussion posts, again, are they're worth 15 points each. And how do you earn a full 15 points out of 15? Well, your initial post is worth 5 points. Your initial post is worth 5. So assuming you meet the criteria, you write 2 paragraphs on the topic that's being assigned or to be discussed, you'll earn your 5 points. But then there's still 10 other points that are left over, and those are reserved for your responses to your peers, to your 2 responses, so you can get 5 points per response. But I'm pretty picky about your responses, so and I do look at things like length of response. If you're just kind of like, hey, I like your post, and thanks for sharing, and that's it. You leave like 2 or 3 sentences. I'm probably only going to give you like 2 or 3 points. I tried to give you points per substantial statement, so I'm looking for like a paragraph worth of substantial comments, talking about the original post, maybe asking questions or seeking clarification or something along those lines. So if you're not getting the full 15 points, I would look at your responses, and if they're kind of skimpy, that's probably why you're missing them. But also remember, of course, I do deduct points for timeliness. So in order to have a timely post, you need to have your original post in by Wednesday evening. It's okay if you respond to other posts later in the week, but at least have your initial post, your post, in by Wednesday. And that helps facilitate the discussion. If there are more posts for people to comment on earlier in the week, then that allows for more room, more discussion, more comments, and not everybody's just waiting till Friday. It kind of disrupts the flow of conversation. So anyways, if you didn't earn 15 points this week or last week and you're curious, that's kind of why. You can also reach out to me individually, and I will, of course, shed some light on that as well. So anyways, that's that. This week we are moving past Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is kind of a review of anatomy, getting into the brain, the nervous system, the endocrine system, all that good stuff. Chapter 3 is not going to be too much different because we are going to get into some more anatomy. We're getting into the chapter on sensation and perception. So how we are bombarded with all kinds of sensory stimuli from the things that we see, hear, touch, taste, smell, all the above. So how do we make sense of it all? How do we turn it into something that's coherent? Because there's more stimuli occurring around us than our brain can actually process. So it's, what do we focus on? What do we pay attention to? How do we attend to it? And so we're going to be looking at kind of the anatomy and sort of some understanding of the senses, and more than just 5, of course. So by the end of Chapter 3, you should be able to define and differentiate between sensation and perception. They are related, but they are different concepts. They're kind of like 2 sides of the same coin, but it's important to distinguish between the 2. You'll be able to identify the different parts of the eye. You'll be able to explain properties of light and different theories of color vision. You'll be able to describe the organization of how we see things, of visual perception. You'll be able to identify the different parts of the ear and explain how our sense of hearing works. So again, more anatomy, the eye and the ear. You'll be able to describe the functioning of the chemical senses like our skin, kinesthesis, and vestibular sense. So kind of adding on to those 5, we actually have a couple more we're going to address. And then we're going to talk about explaining why psychologists are skeptical about ESP, extrasensory perception. So I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but if anyone in this class believes in telekinesis, please raise my hand. Oh, wow. I'm just kidding. That's a really bad joke I like to use. So anyways, read chapter 3, read about sensation and perception. There's some fascinating research in here. I think a lot of some of the best research comes from this section of psychology. So anyways, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions about this chapter as you're reading through it. We do have a discussion post on the subject of attention. In a sense, what we pay attention to, we see, we attend, we are aware of, but anything else that we do not attend to, we are essentially blind to it. If we're going to talk about vision and the things that we see, well, what about the things that we don't see? So the topic of this week is attention and how we are distracting our attention via texting and driving, and how that might impact our ability to drive. Because if you're not aware, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, Oklahoma enabled some laws that banned texting and driving. So not that I know of anyone who's been pulled over for it, but those laws are on the book now, so it seems to be a problem that's worth addressing. So, also heads up that we will have our first exam next week. I will post it to D2L probably on Saturday or Sunday, probably Sunday at the latest, and you'll have a little more than a week to complete that exam. It will cover chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll read chapter 4 next week, so we'll finish up and be prepared for that. So I've also put up the practice quiz for Chapter 3. Feel free to use those resources. Again, they're not for a grade. They're not required. They're for you. They're for you to prepare and to make sure you understand the material. So check that out. So kind of a lot for this week, but just know, just a quick rundown. Read Chapter 3 on sensation and perception. Complete the discussion post along with 2 responses to your peers. And then take the practice quiz to prepare for next week's exam. So I'll give you more details about next week's exam next week, but other than that, I'm going to leave you be. I'll let you enjoy your weekend. Hope you enjoy this weekend and the remainder or this coming week, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.